wanted you back on Drag Race for a while. Why did you decide to come back, and did you feel like you had something to prove?
I always wanted to come back, but I just knew that I needed time. All Stars is a completely different ballgame. People are so familiar with you at that point, and they always want to see growth from their All Stars. So I definitely knew that it would take me a little while to be able to get where I felt I would need to be a real contender on All Stars. So I'm excited to finally be back, and I'm really, really humbled and thankful that they asked me to come back.
How has your drag changed since you were first on the show?
Seeing yourself on TV is one of the most confronting experiences. I feel like, especially in the context of reality television, because you really see yourself just existing, you know, like not even being like on as a persona the way that drag queens, you know, are on. You really do see yourself, and it makes you so much more aware and sometimes even a little bit self-conscious. So, you know, I definitely had to spend some time working on some things so I could go into All Stars and be like, okay, now I feel like I'm the Shea Couleé that I've always wanted everyone to see. After getting on season 9, all of a sudden now I'm traveling all over the world with some of the best of the best of the best. And I had the opportunity to cherry pick so many skills from all of those girls in order to help make my drag even more polished than it was on season 9.
This was my spot on season 9. Feels kind of lucky.
You did the Black Girl Magic tour in 2018, and then you were on the Nubia tour this year. Before that kind of got thwarted. And those tours celebrate queens of color. Like, how does that feel different to you?
It feels different, because these are shows that are created, produced, and curated by queens of color. So immediately there's a completely different power dynamic because we're not trying to play into any type of stereotypes or tropes that are oftentimes placed on us when we are the only Black girl that's cast in the show. You know, they expect a lot of times for you to bring out only Nicki Minaj and Beyonce and Megan Thee Stallion. But, you know, as Black people, we understand that our existence is something that's really complex and has a lot of nuance. So having the ability to not have to subscribe to that and to come with like more of a truer, authentic representation of yourself, I feel automatically creates more of an enriched show because you know that you're bringing something that is really, really truly you.
I want to look up right now so I can see the difference between Gigi Good and Jada Essence Hall.
What do you mean the difference?
In Instagram followers.
Bob and Peppermint's videos, they have one recently that made some waves about racism in the drag race fandom, like how queens of color don't necessarily have as many fans on Instagram as maybe a Trixie or a Trinity or an Alyssa or whatever. What did you think of that? And like, I'm wondering what your experience has been there.
I mean, they nailed everything right there on the head. I feel like I've had a really nice experience with the fandom, but I've also had my own experiences of my own where I've been faced with racism. But the thing is, that's part of my existence. It's something that I encounter every single day. Now, do I want to hold the fans of the show to a higher standard and expect that they would behave differently? Absolutely. Is that the reality? Not all the time. So what I have to do is just to be able to focus on what's positive, focus on the people that really truly see me for me and understand and celebrate me as a Black queen. I really don't have time to dedicate too much energy to people who want to discredit me on something just as simple as the color of my skin. That's only going to slow me down. And if anybody has seen anything from me before, I'm a girl that likes to go vroom vroom. So let's take it to the finish line, baby.
I think you reflected that in your entrance line this season too, just like
yes.
You're in.
Yes, that is very much so me, Shea Couleé, through and through. You know, like not only it was a proclamation, you know, that meant so many different things. You know, I knew that the fans had wanted me to come back to the show, but also at the same time, like I am somebody who is an unapologetically Black queer individual. So I also wanted to make that stance the moment that I walked in the workroom.
I'm Black.
You released an amazing statement last week about your inner struggle with sort of promoting the show that you filmed a while ago. and everything that's going on right now and how big a struggle it is to be like, to want to maybe be a little selfish about like, no, I made this amazing thing that I'm really proud of, but like also I'm sad and all this crazy stuff is happening, and it's just another brick in the wall or whatever, I guess you'd say.
When I wrote the statement that morning, I just had these feelings that I really needed to get off my chest. I didn't even feel like I am about to sit here and make a statement, but I just wanted to speak my truth. And I think that that is something that is really important during these times as we're having conversations and listening, that people that are in marginalized positions, this is now our time to speak our truth. And so I wanted people to understand the complexity of what I'm dealing with, being here in a position to be back on my favorite TV show in the entire world, doing something that I'm so incredibly proud of, but also faced with where we're at as a society right now, dealing with systemic racism, oppression, and the completely visible police brutality that we're witnessing on media every single day. So I just had to, I guess, make a stance so that people knew that this show wasn't just here for the sake of self-promotion, but that this show was here for the sake of hope. The show is so much bigger than the contestants. It's so much bigger than me or anybody else. So when it comes to the process of creating a season of RuPaul's Drag Race, for me personally, when I went in there, my one goal outside of competing, outside of trying to outdo my former self in season 9, I wanted to make a show and contribute to a show that I know is impactful and I know has the ability and the power to affect positive change. So that's why I wanted to tell people about it, because I wanted people to have hope that even in watching this and seeing our story, specifically mine, a queer Black person, that it would be an opportunity for people to feel hope, because that's really important. And I feel like hope is oftentimes the gasoline to get us through. We need that. I just am a firm believer in destiny. And I feel like this is happening at this time, at this moment, for a reason. I feel like my experiences, my life experiences, have poised me and allowed me to be in a position where I can speak out and help educate people, but also inspire people and encourage people from similar experiences to stand up and speak out about injustice. So I am excited because I feel like what the fans are going to see from Drag Race All-Stars 5 and from myself are going to be a lot of messages of hope and encouragement.
Come and get it, get it, get it, get it. But only if you with it, with it, with it, with it. It's getting late, late. Baby, I can't wait.